So Tina had asked, I've been doing mindfulness practice for years now, but I continue to find it difficult to make my practice daily. How do I improve? And and she says, I am then really hard on myself.
Right. So Tina, you keep working on your sound. I'll just go ahead and answer the question in the meantime. It'd be nice to hear from you, but in the meantime, it's very interesting that some people who practice mindfulness, it is not uncommon necessarily to still have that critical voice about, beating yourself up for not being mindful enough. It happens. So that's why, mindfulness and compassion really are two wings of a bird. A lot of people like to say, it's really one of the natural things that comes from mindfulness, that comes from being in the moment, that comes from disengaging from all the thoughts and emotions and kind of sinking into awareness itself, which is what mindfulness is that when we do that, compassion can naturally arise. So I would, instead of trying to focus so much on doing your mindfulness practice every day, it actually may be a useful experiment for you to try to practice compassion every day, maybe about not doing your mindfulness practice, right? In other words, it sounds like perhaps this, that the muscle of self-compassion, of being encouraging about making changes as opposed to being self-critical, it might be that that's actually what you want to focus on more explicitly, right? I'm not saying don't do your mindfulness practice, but if we just focus, for instance, on meditation or mindfulness without also developing the open heart, which is, might say, the muscle of compassion, it really can be unbalanced. So I wish I could talk to you to have a little back and forth conversation in terms of how that's landing for you. But you might just want to give yourself a week to just say, I am mainly going to focus on practicing being self-compassionate to the fact that it's hard to make the time to practice mindfulness, and that I'm a human being and that I can't always get it right. That actually may be a more effective practice, at least for where you are now. And also just one more thing about daily practice, because I kind of got around the issue. Really, the best way to practice mindfulness or self-compassion is to do it in a way that's enjoyable for you, because if it feels like work or a chore, you aren't going to do it. So for instance, one way to practice mindfulness and compassion, because it's compassionate to do this, is just when you take a walk, maybe you're walking to the grocery store, or walking outside in your neighborhood, to use that as the opportunity to practice mindfulness, right? Just be mindful of the feeling of your feet, or the way the roses look, or the green grass, that spring's coming out, the trees coming into bud. So doing it in a way that's enjoyable and doesn't feel like a chore is always a really useful way to practice mindfulness. But again, the main reason we practice mindfulness is to become aware and to have our hearts open. And so any way we can do that, it doesn't have to look like a traditional sitting practice to open your mind and heart.